How come the leopards have never eaten her face? How come the worst that we've really seen is that Lauren Witzke person, which, where the f*** is she now, by the way? Elliot Page said, listen, if Elliot Page has said that it's transformed his life, and he's so clearly happy with how things are now, then who are we to judge? This is, whatever happens is like just desserts in a lot of ways. We shouldn't have been pushing for like trans kids. We shouldn't have been pushing for invading women's sports. Things like that.
Sometimes I just don't feel like I'm trans.
When you're trans, there's this kind of expectation that you're all these other things that have got nothing to do with being trans. I watched something yesterday. I watched a Sky Vittoriti video about this person whose name I think is Micah Leroy. And Blaire White has also done a video of them. So right off the bat, I didn't really say this, but like I find it quite grotesque, like flaunting your surgery. I might look at Bo Black sometime. It's very like complicated though. And I don't really typically sit through like reams and reams of like tweets and shit. But hey, maybe one day. But yeah, I don't like that people feel empowered to like flaunt their surgery and stuff. It feels very strange. Like I never went around showing off my vaginoplasty to the world. I don't know of any women that are getting like breast implants and then literally showing them off for the world to see. I don't see why it should be different for this kind of thing. It feels very odd that we're glorifying surgery the way that we do in trans circles. I feel very uncomfortable about that, and I kind of wish I'd kind of made more of a point about that, to be honest. But hey, so we've got a Blaire White video about it, and I'm kind of wondering how this is going to go, because the title is "They transitioned a mentally handicapped person. I can't believe this." That's obviously not very politically correct, and it's Blaire White. What are you expecting? But like, it's not technically inaccurate, because someone with cerebral palsy, which is what this person has, it is like a brain-born kind of problem, something that starts from the brain. But at the same time, to say they're mentally handicapped kind of implies that, you know, their faculties are not all there, which is not necessarily the case with this person. But hey, listen, I'm not judging things based on the title. The no nip thing makes the surgery very accessible for crap surgeons. Yikes, yeah. Also unpleasant for women who've had mastectomies due to breast cancer. Yeah, it's not very sensitive, I guess. Trans woman at the Biden White House who showed her boobs. Yes, Rose Montoya, who was later accused of assaulting 5 different trans men. Lovely person. But yeah, I really want to make it clear that I'm quite uncomfortable actually with how trans people flaunt surgery, and it's a good thing. When women get like plastic surgery, I just don't think their attitudes are typically the same. Wish critics of Micah would critique Micah's activist parents instead. Well, we'll see what this is, and hey, maybe I'll learn some more things myself. But yeah, and I mean, if this person's parents are activists, it makes a lot of this make a lot more sense. And it also, like, they've got like this wheelchair thing, all these stickers everywhere with like he, him, and like I'm queer and stuff, and you know, it makes it make a lot more sense in a sick kind of way. But at the same time, this person does not necessarily not know what's going on. This isn't someone that has necessarily been taken advantage of just because they have this kind of thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, kind of this kind of stuff, you have to fight your impulse, if you know what I mean, to think that this is something it isn't. But at the same time, I also have to understand that people are going to see this. People are not going to have the context. And ultimately, this person chose to put this on the internet themselves. You know what I mean? Doesn't typically impact cognitive ability. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to have to stop myself from crashing out right now. The things that I believe should be done to the caretakers of this individual, to the surgeon.
Hey, you might be getting your wish. Hey.
Actually don't think I could say it on YouTube. Hey guys, welcome back to the Blaire White Project podcast, the first podcast of the new year of 2025. And I was thinking about opening this with just some New Year's resolutions, some things I really want to maybe change, in the new year. But I realized nothing was actually wrong with me last year. So we're just going to roll with a new year, same bitch type of vibe. Let's just roll right into the news and do our thing like we're supposed to. So this first one, I'm going to have to stop myself from crashing out right now because...
We've got Chantal Bilson from Pink News. So Pink News are glorifying this as well. Hey, we might as well have a look. Yeah, we've got it right here. Another banger from Pink News. How nice. How nice. Wouldn't hormones mess with this person more so than the average Joe? I'm not actually sure, to be clear. I can't imagine the kind of issues you have with cerebral palsy that necessarily filling yourself up with like roids or whatever. I doubt it's helpful, but I don't honestly know. The hormone's probably worse than the surgery in this case. I'm not sure. Hi, Rin. Yeah, I don't know. If people know more about this than me, then chime in. I don't know. His transition, no nipples, looks more like MB to me. I think he has him on his wheelchair. Talking to Instagram, Leroy said, shared a video of himself going topless, proudly displaying his top surgery scars. The joyful video has gone viral. Although, unfortunately, I just don't like how we, glorify this. I'm sorry. I don't think it's cool that because you're like a trans man, they already have limited movement now that have brittle bones in a few years. Jeez, maybe, yeah, fuck. But yeah, the way we glorify, surgery and stuff, it really has started making me feel very uncomfortable. And, you wouldn't typically get away with, getting your tits out to celebrate having a breast augmentation or something like that. You wouldn't typically get away with getting a vaginoplasty and then showing that off to Instagram. But when it's a mastectomy, it's fine. I just don't understand that at all. I get that, I guess it's like the male chest thing. Oh, now I can put it on the internet or whatever. It's bizarre, though. It's bizarre. I don't like this at all. Is this person an adult? Yes, I think they're 19. Yeah, 19 from Minneapolis. Suggested shouldn't have been allowed. Doesn't have the mental capacity. Not necessarily. That isn't necessarily true, of course. Many people, transphobes, again, exposing who they are by dehumanizing Micah Leroy. Did anyone dehumanize him? I have no idea. This is the thing. Idiots on Twitter. This is how they talk. This is how TRAs talk. They're all disgusting. I've lost the ability to care, honestly. There's a certain subset of trans types that I do not care about appealing to. Feels like body modification movement. Yeah, in a way. Who the fuck is this? And why are we... who are we talking about? Transphobes. We get to just appeal randomly to transphobes, as usual. Cheers to express his joy. Well, a procedure to remove or augment breast tissue. Anti-trans pundits, who cares? About 30 to 50 people with cerebral palsy, I'm not saying CP, have an intellectual disability. So he probably doesn't. I don't know. I don't know for sure, to be clear. Main reason I needed top surgery, I was spending every day of my life just thinking about it. So because you're thinking about it, you need it. I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get it. You're making people obsessed with this shit so that then they can go and get the surgery to not obsess over this shit anymore. But it's just strange. It's just strange. It's a bit ghoulish in a way that's very hard for me to put out in words. But, that's why I keep going. That's why I keep doing shit. Endured a stroke as well, yeah. I mean, you've got obviously the argument that unnecessary surgeries are not great for most people, let alone whatever. Top surgery, help them enjoy their life. Elliot Page said, listen, if Elliot Page has said that it's transformed his life and he's so clearly happy with how things are now, then Who are we to judge? I don't know. Lets me enjoy my life. That's a mental thing. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it, but we're just going to keep going. Took me a while to realize my chest dysphoria got worse. Like, I don't know. I can't put words to what I'm thinking here. It sounds like, honestly, what we're risking, especially when we teach kids about this kind of shit, is that we're putting these ideas into their heads and then like they're getting complexes about it and then going off to get the surgery. And then now they're able to live their life. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't fucking get it. Anyway. Elliot Page always seems to be on the verge of tears. Yes. I watched some stuff about him yesterday. Listen, occasionally he tries to seem like he's happy. And that has been so freeing. Like, I just don't understand. Something put into your head and now you don't have to think about it anymore. And now, like, it feels wrong in a way that I can't put words to. Anyway.
I was filled with so much rage when I saw this. You'll see why in just a second. I came across probably the most disturbing trans content I've ever seen in my life. And coming from me, coming from someone who's covered that for a decade or so, that's saying something. So
yeah, here's the thing. Maybe I'll just ask this every single time I look at a Blaire White video. How come Blaire White is like siding with the leopards who are going to eat her face and has been doing so for almost a decade now? How come the leopards have never eaten her face? How come the worst that we've really seen is that Lauren Witzke person, which, where the fuck is she now, by the way? You know what I mean? Yeah, on the left, the leopards are constantly fucking eating each other. You've got people like ContraPoints, who not only got eaten by the leopards, she then turned around and thanked them for it and asked for more. You know what I mean? Because she's hot, maybe, I don't know. I can see why plenty of people would still have it in for her if the writer is hateful towards people like her, as we say.
Maybe buckle in a little bit. We're just going to play it. All you have to do is watch it and you'll see what I mean.
Even if it's only a physical disability, not intellectual, being a 19-year-old confined to a wheelchair, super vulnerable to isolation and cult BS. Yeah. And I don't know, someone was suggesting that her parents are like kind of activist types. I don't know. We'll find out more.
I don't know if I should cry or spiral into just unmitigated rage right now because it's clearly one of these two emotions.
The left are way more likely to assault Blaire or any trans person. It seems like fucking hell. I've been gaslit into thinking that all of the right fucking despises, hates trans people. And to be fair, some of them are quite loud and do in fact feel that way. But then like people on the left are so much fucking worse. And I'm supposed to kiss their asses because they pretend like they love trans people when they don't. Because if these people actually like trans people, they'd care for trans people whether or not they agree with them, which is not the case. Like, think about it this way. I'm a liberal. I'm trans. Most of the hate I get is from like woke types. Why is that? Think about it. His scars look horrific. Yeah, just this whole glorifying surgery thing. I just can't. I think it's nasty. I just can't with this shit.
Really not feeling anything else. The things that I believe should be done to the caretakers of this individual, to the surgeon who did this to this individual, I actually don't think I could say it on YouTube. Or maybe just legally in general. Like, I wish the worst. Wish the worst. We've seen...
Is it Micah Leroy? Minnesota. I think it might be. I just remember the name from the last thing I watched. Truth behind disabled teen. Yeah, Micah Leroy. There we go. LinkedIn. Culture leader. Liked by Kathy Leroy. Are you a neurodiverse female entrepreneur? I mean, the word neurodiverse is a huge red flag. Designer. Tireless advocate. We're getting hints. We're getting hints, you know what I mean? Another disabled trans. GoFundMe with a minor with Down syndrome to get top surgery. Shit. I mean, someone said earlier, like, things like levels of autism or whatever matter. And I guess that's true for anything like this, really. Yeah, I don't have LinkedIn, so I can't actually look at much of this. I'm not feeling amazing about it. Yeah, and he said that he wanted to blow up the internet. We've already covered this, but crazy. He wants attention. He sure fucking got it. I don't know. And now showing off your surgery is a stunt for attention. I hate our fucking culture so much. I've realized recently that I'm just like very disgusted by trans culture in general. I feel like online at least. And unfortunately, what I experienced of it IRL was exactly the same as like online, which is what made me so fucking crazy over this shit, I guess. Knew what he was doing. Yep, I'm sure. Happy with his choices. Long history of gender identity issues. Well, I mean, gender identity is just calling yourself something. If it's causing you issues, I don't know. It just feels like we're kind of... Are we creating these people? When did this kid learn about this kind of stuff? You know what I mean? I wish I could see the process from start to finish. Like, from first knowing about any of this shit, right to the end. I wish I could. And yeah, we've got plenty of activist shit on here. The future is accessible. Queer. Got he, him. Got progress flag. This person seems very culturally trans, if you know what I mean. In my opinion, what you're disgusted with is the communist agenda that has taken over. I mean, not really. I don't know. It's hard to explain. And it's like the weird communist shit, like some of it affects it, but it's not the only thing going on. It's very easy to blame like a political ideology you don't like, but it's very complicated. And the thing is, like half of these people who are like very far left, it's kind of an aesthetic as much as it is like it's as much like an aesthetic as anything else. A lot of these people are very individualistic, which is not really supposed to be a leftist thing, you know. Translated by his mom. Calling it a missing piece of his identity. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Easier to get, taxpayer funded, gender affirming care. Listen, I can't judge on that. I was the same. Cross-sex hormones age 17. Nice. Oh, yeah, so we've got Chris Alston. Oh, Billboard. It literally says it. Fucking hell. Actually read the thing. You'll find out. This is a gender ideology. I mean, it kind of is. No. Pink triangle sticker. Yeah. And guess who he's met? Fucking Jammy Dodger. Disgusting freak. Disgusting. Horrible. Literally grooming people into his disgusting ideology that is probably more about validating himself than anything else. Disgusting person. Like, I don't care if I spend the rest of my life fucking reading about this guy and no one taking me seriously. This person is gross. This person should not be listened to. Like, if you've got a child, you should not allow this person anywhere near your child. Let's put it that way. Not because I think he's going to fuck them, because he's trans. Let's be clear. Because he's an ideological fucking groomer. That's why. Always knew something was up with his gender identity. Yep, they always do. Yeah, I cannot fucking stand Jammy Dodger. He is disgusting in my opinion. Of course, Jammy is involved. Yep, why wouldn't he be? Promoting his book, which maybe I should read. Apparently, there's something in here about not disclosing your trans status to a potential date straight away, which is extremely irresponsible. You should make sure they know straight away, not just because you're potentially wasting your time and the other person's time, but also because, let's say things go further than you expect. You like each other more than you expect, and they take your pants off and then find a penis there, and then freak out because they think they're gay. You know what I mean? Like, it's mind-blowing that people still push this idea that you should be quiet about your trans identity when you're out dating. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know for a fact 'cause I haven't read this shitty book, but I've heard that there's stuff in there about that. My favorite video about Jammy, peak trans. Oh yeah, I haven't actually seen any. I don't watch a lot of those people because I agree with them in general. I don't just want to like steal takes from people. I want to think about shit for myself, even if it takes longer, even if I end up saying some stuff that's probably not right straight away and it takes me a bit of time to get to the correct thing. You know, that's kind of how I prefer to do it. And I think, I don't know, I see things other people don't see. I miss things people do see. I think it's better that way. Doctors in this cult don't care about disabilities. No, it doesn't seem so. Have we read the WPATH leaks? Probably no one has, because no one ever does. Quite the opposite. They transition a higher percentage of people with mental disabilities and comorbidities. Like I said, he had to switch off his Instagram notifications, blown up by hateful comments. Well, I mean, like, I want to feel bad for you, but you did this for attention. So it's like, what did you expect? I want to help other people who are trans and disabled know it's okay. You'll figure out it's all communism eventually. Will I? How old are you, Cracky Reads? I hate when people talk to me like that when it turns out they're like 21. Are you just, are you at Bracious Productions again? It wasn't funny when he was doing it. It's just lame when you're doing it too. I wanted to blow up the internet because I wanted to help other people who are trying. Like, are you helping people or are you getting validation? And this person apparently has designs to like get into Congress or something. How is this about helping other people? I don't think Jammy was on blockers. No. As far as I know, they weren't.
So much effed up stuff, and like the medical abuse happening under the transgender, flag and movement, and the surgeries that happen to minors, all of that is terrible in and of itself. And we know that. I just never thought I would see something like this. Someone who clearly is so... Let me just read about this person so you can actually know a few things about this victim, this objective victim.
Is it cool to call them a victim when they probably have their faculties? I don't know about that. I wouldn't put it that way. Okay, at least you're older. Listen, you're saying a lot of stuff with no evidence and that just everything is communism. It comes across as lazy thinking to me, and it's not really how I deal with things. Like, if you've got like evidence and stuff, then yeah, feel free to show it. But just saying it's communism over and over and over and over and over again, it just gets a bit irritating after a while. I hope that makes sense.
Her name is Micah Leroy. She's 19 years old. Her mother is a woke of...
Oh, okay. Accessibility and DEIB advocate. What is this? Is this Blue Sky by any chance? My man loves Trump's hate. Yeah, so was it Ginger Blaze you were saying about this person being an activist? It kind of seems like that. Apparently Micah has 12 carers, but is their own guardian? I don't know how that works, to be clear. Maybe there's a way that makes sense.
Of course. Anti-Trump leftist, activist, because why wouldn't she be? She transitioned while she was...
I'm not saying that there's no influence or whatever from communism, but just going on about how it's just all communism is I don't know, over and over. I don't know. You sound exactly like people on the left who equates everything bad to Nazism. So you need to work hard if you're going to get me to take you seriously. I hope that makes sense, because I'm not trying to alienate people. I'm not trying to tell people off for what they think or whatever. But at the same time, it's I'm not just going to sit here and say that it's all communism and the commies are doing this and that and the other, because that would make me sound mental. I don't know that I actually believe any of that. Open to work. What, really? I have no idea.
Trump leftist, activist, because why wouldn't she be? She transitioned while she was in high school, starting hormones while underage.
Yeah, how did this person kind of start learning about things like that? You know what I mean?
And then got a double mastectomy at age 19. Mara has cerebral palsy and suffers from epilepsy. She also suffered from at least one.
Took me years to come to this conclusion. Okay, fair enough. Don't assume that everyone else is going to, or that I'm going to. That's all I'd say.
One stroke in the past, according to a fundraiser by her parents.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are like far left, but it's more complicated than that. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. And a lot of the actual values a lot of these people have, it's like they're not really very leftist in a lot of ways. Learned about it on Twitch. Were they on Twitch? I'm not sure.
Mara has cerebral palsy and suffers from epilepsy. She also suffered from at least one stroke in the past, according to a fundraiser by her parents. And as of last night, the night before filming this, I looked at this person's Instagram, and in the bio there was a GoFundMe for rent, food, and bills, which why this person wouldn't be able to have their, at the very least, food covered by disability. I mean, this is clearly a disabled person. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the victim here raising the money or someone on the victim's behalf, but either way, the idea of this person consenting to these surgeries, I guess it goes without saying. We don't even have to even go down that route. It's clearly not happening.
Wait, where's the GoFundMe? I don't understand.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's why this person wouldn't be able to have their, at the very least, food covered by disability. I mean, this is clearly a disabled person. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the victim here raising the money or someone on the victim's behalf, but either way, the idea of this person consenting to these surgeries, I guess it.
I'm not seeing this. Am I being insane? Oh yeah, and you had this post where like they're like, oh, two disabled people, and it's like this person has like autism or something, which, like, I don't know, if I was this person I'd find that fucking annoying, but hey. Other people's shit, how nice. This I presume is a trans man of some kind. I don't know. Well, he apparently donated to that one that he was sharing. I'm amazed, by the way, that stuff like this is allowed, like this kind of unsupportive, harmful parents. You're allowed to just say this. Like, what if they're lying? Does GoFundMe have any kind of like safeguarding against stuff like that? To stop people just scamming a bunch of money out of people that feel sorry for them? It's another thing that I feel really, really awkward about, but I don't know how to accurately convey, you know?
It goes without saying. We don't even have to even go down that route. It's clearly not happening. This is clearly neurological. Just a stroke alone. You could narrow it down to just a stroke, right? You don't have to even know.
There's a reason why some parents of a female child with these sort of conditions, which require significant toileting care, are tempted by the prospect of getting rid of menstruation. Yeah, potentially, Jesus.
Know the ins and outs of cerebral palsy.
Trans refugee GoFundMes. I need to go through more of them at some point. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, that Luxander one, every time I think about it, I want to hit the fucking roof. What a disgusting person.
Which I don't know all the ins and outs.
I've been trying to get SSI since I was 26. I have 8 separate disabilities. I'm 34. I still can't get it. Oh, we're the same age. If it helps, I have plenty of issues and I've never really been able to get anything for him. Like, I don't know. I worked for a long time. It's kind of been removed as an option for me for a lot of different reasons, but hey. Why you just kind of go on and, if nothing else, survive out of fucking spite, I guess.
A stroke alone before the age of 19. Very, very disturbing. It makes me extremely angry that this is happening. And for me, I just feel like, I've gotten a lot of different types of emails and messages since the last election. Wait for it, I'll tie it in. Since the election, it's a lot of people asking like, Blaire, how do you feel about the new administration? And do you have any worries about being under Republican rule, any backlash against trans people and trans rights and blah, 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 blah. All the same stupid shit that you always hear, right?
Luxander had a GoFundMe. Of course he did. Why wouldn't Luxander have a GoFundMe? This is the first you're hearing of this. I'm surprised when you watch me. Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. You visit often. I've been on this so many fucking times, man. This is real. 12,095. She was on a live stream sometime in the last few days. Recently, at least. It might have been a bit longer than that. Like, sharing this and, like, e-begging. She calls herself a political refugee. Moving from fucking Kansas to, like, Oregon or whatever. Like, it's so cringe. And people fall for this shit. That's the worst thing. It's disgusting. It's really gross. And then some of this shit is a bit suspect as well. I mean, she's a supposed leftist, Why would she know anything about economics, I guess? You know what I mean? Anyway, we're not talking about Luxander. I do enough of that.
Or at least I
think she was in, like, Kansas or something. It's a red state, sure, but, like, I don't know. Something about, like, white people from English-speaking countries, in their own countries, talking about themselves like that, acting like they're these massive fucking victims when they just aren't. It just really, like, boils my piss, quite frankly.
Blah, 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 blah. All the same stupid shit that you always hear, right? Or at least I most definitely always hear. And it's crazy because the idea that, first of all, backlash against, this community and this medical establishment is not deserved.
Yes, we're reaping what we sow. Oh my God, someone gets it. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, this is whatever happens is, like, just desserts in a lot of ways. We shouldn't have been pushing for, like, trans kids. We shouldn't have been pushing for invading women's sports. Things like that. So it's no wonder she should flee to Utah. I've been like, you see some of those GoFundMes from those kinds of people, and they talk about, like, fleeing to Europe. I really want to, like, recommend some of them check out, like, Hungary or Poland or, like, Latvia or something, or Russia, you know what I mean? I think I'd be well fucking welcome there. Definitely.
Yeah. That, first of all, backlash against, this community and this medical...
Oh, it's okay, Cracky Reeds, don't worry. I've just had that kind of thing before, so I'm sorry if I was kind of getting a bit funny,
establishment is not deserved. It's actually deserved. And so...
Yeah, I fully fucking agree with this.
If you're asking if I'm personally worried about anything against me, absolutely not. I'm going to always be good.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I'm not part of this shitty community, so whatever fucking happens to it, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I couldn't care less. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit.
Know that, believe that.
There are, like, a lot of innocent trans people that I do feel bad for, that might get affected. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's so much fucking scaremongering. It's incredibly hard to get any kind of gauge for what is actually going to happen. And there's plenty of trans people that are very innocent in all this and kind of get dragged along with this weird cult shit, or, like, feel they have to conform to our weird fucked up, like, culture, which, Jesus Christ, I'm so fucking glad that I realized that this was strange years ago, because that could have easily been me as well,
Trust in that, because I do. And so for y'all that want to message me asking, about any future backlash in this new administration, here's my...
Yeah, it's not us. It's not Blaire, and it's not me that the backlash is going towards. I fully agree with what you say. I think it's base as fuck.
My position. The trans community deserves a timeout, babe. Yes, the doctors doing this shit. The Nazi Operation Paperclip ass scientists that are doing this type of shit.
Listen, she's taking it further than I would, but I agree with this fully. It's the people that are, like, innocent in all this shit that might get affected by some, like, bill here and there. I actually do feel sorry for. But like this kind of weird medical establishment, this kind of weird culture that we have around being trans, where lots of the shit has got nothing to do with actually being trans whatsoever and shouldn't really be forced on people. I hope that fucking shit burns. I really do.
Deserve a timeout. Deserve way worse, actually. See, the trans community, we're just going to give you a timeout. The surgeons, what they used to call that public flogging, I'm thinking that needs to, let me not, hi YouTube. Hi.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying I'd go this far, to be clear.
Terms of service, love you. Love the financial support you've offered me over the years. And so I'm not going to cross any lines, but hopefully y'all can read between the lines. If you're watching this, absolutely disgusting. But if you're watching on Rumble, perhaps.
In the US, I'm pretty sure Trump only wants to ban transition care for minors. Be surprised if he wants to ban it for adults. I guess you probably also have like the states and stuff like that to worry about. But I don't know. All we can do is see. And there's so much fucking scaremongering around that it's kind of impossible to tell, if you know what I mean. It doesn't seem against trans. I'm not sure how I feel, honestly. We'll wait and see. It's not my country anyway, ultimately. The Nazi thing. Like, yeah, there was like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just, I don't know.
We gotta, I'm not saying that that would be great. But this is so much more of a concern than any hardship that the community may face after a complete inability to address the medical abuses like this happening to minors and now disabled people. Wow, you would think that it can't actually get any lower, right? You would think, my God, they're doing this to like 16-year-old, and all of a sudden now you're seeing this. This person cannot even communicate.
Listen, anyone big on the internet, they have a fan base that glaze the fuck out of them. We're watching stuff about Destiny. It's the same shit. It's just how it happens.
And I'm not saying that means they're completely lost, neurologically, but you would think, my God, they're doing this to like 16-year-old, and all of a sudden now you're seeing this. This person cannot even communicate. And I'm not saying that means they're completely lost, neurologically, but I don't have to even explain myself here. You get it. According to all these photos on social media, this person is wheeled around Congress doing political photo ops with YouTubers and other activists and, the parents whose info I will also put on the screen.
Oh, open to work. Okay, I understand. Disability dad.
I
like how that's like a point of status almost. Like in the kind of circles these people run in, he, him, there we go. In the kind of circles they run in, this is like a point of this is like a flex basically, right?
Disgusting. I feel like I'm misgendering them, even calling them parents. Like they don't actually deserve those labels. Those are not accurate terms. You have here this person doing testosterone updates. And it's like, I understand that there's nothing to be embarrassed about per se on behalf of, this individual that they have certain movements they can't control and sounds and all of that. Like, I'm not trying to shame this person for those at all. All I'm saying is, why is this person being filmed in this manner and put out? It's just not very...
Well, the sad part is it seems to be their choice. Oh, does this have sound? I guess it doesn't. God, the hair color as well. Like, all of it. Like, it's culty. It's weird. We've got the t-shirt. We've got all the stickers. We've got the hair color. What else do we need? I guess we got the fucking mom and dad of the cult. Like, oh, man. Oh, man. Messed up.
Dignified, Let's just say that. It just feels extremely exploitative. It's demonic. I don't care how offended you are at me using that phrase. You do not have to believe in anything biblical.
I don't know. Does anyone else feel weird about things like groupthink? Does anyone else feel weird when you seem like you just meet person after person that has all the same beliefs, all the same like values, practically the same fashion? Do you know what I mean? It's always freaked me out. And I don't know why, but like, the more I watch this kind of stuff, the more it kind of starts to fall in place, I guess. Because, like, what does dyeing your hair have to do with being trans? You know what I mean? For example? Are you sure it's his choice? It seems like it. It seems like it. I mean, I'm not led to believe this person actually has, like, an intellectual disability. If you know what I mean.
You don't have to have any kind of, religion or not even be that spiritual to recognize that evil.
Like, did no one tell us that we don't all have to dye our hair weird colors? You know what I mean? Did no one tell us that just because the trans pride flag is a certain color, we don't all have to plaster that literally fucking everywhere? We don't all have to be like radical leftists. We don't all have to fucking be polyamorous and all these other things. This like trans culture shit. It's like, it really bothers me. It really bothers me. And I'm probably not explaining how in any kind of way that makes sense, but I don't know. It will one day. It will one day.
Will exist. It has a source from somewhere. And what is this if not born out of the pits of fucking hell? And no, I am not talking about the victim. So any one of y'all that want to try to twist that.
This is a minor. This person's 19. I don't know if that's a minor in the US. It's certainly not a minor in this country.
And to me, bullying this person, that's really not going to work. That may have worked in 2018, 2019, 2020, when you can make your little anti-Blaire White videos and I could just breathe the wrong way and it's like all this hate. This is what's wrong. And it's crazy because there's money being raised on behalf of this person for food and rent and bills. How'd you pay for the double mastectomy? That's clearly thousands of dollars. I don't understand.
Anti-normality. I guess if you're referring to like the kind of queer, what is it? Queer ideology, if that's what we're calling it. I guess it makes sense. But what's weird is it just becomes a different kind of normal.
Understand.
Yeah, I mean, they started identifying as a minor. I already have extremely complicated feelings about that because I don't think people should be starting their transition as a minor in the first place. Like, who knows how old this person was? I guess they were 14. But with any of these people, they could have started identifying at like 10, 11, like way before that. And they might change their mind one day. Started hormones as a minor. Yeah. I don't know. People act like it's different for surgery and that surgery is the one that we draw the line at and everything else let them do before 18. I'm just not down with transing kids in general. So I do get what you're saying. But I mean, I don't know. It's difficult. We're trying to bridge a gap that is probably unbridgeable. Let's face it.
It's very, very dark what we're looking at. And if it is covered by insurance, I'm going to need to know why my tax money went to this. That's what I'm going to need to know because this is.
Dyed my hair blue since I was 13. I don't want to be lumped in with these people. Well, people might not. You never know. My question for mine is, why can't you just be GNC? Because something gender identity, which is totally real and not just something you call yourself.
Is, first of all, child abuse because the transition began when the victim was underage, but also.
Yeah, at this point, I guess I get more. And I agree with. I don't like calling it child abuse because it's a very loaded term, I guess. But I don't know. I'm still figuring this shit out, man. Confirmation bias. We're watching happy things right now.
This is disabled abuse. I don't know if there's some kind of woke ass term for that, right? Y'all have terms for everything. But what's crazy is like I would probably just sooner be called.
The other thing is, what do we not know about how someone with epilepsy and cerebral palsy, what do we not know about how these procedures, all this kind of shit will affect them?
Ableist by y'all, then this being some form of demented ass ableism, what they're doing to an actual disabled person, right? When it comes to the community. And I'm getting so tired of even saying that phrase. How many years have I been saying the community? What kind of... This is not a community. It's just so interesting how now, you know...
You're right, it's called a cult.
I'm seeing so many people in the community, and I really don't want to sound bitter, but I am. Now y'all want to do this U-turn after, you know, we've hit the Titanic of being, being anti-woke or trying to call out the liberal trans stuff and take things another direction. And it's not as if I'm not somewhat like, okay, that's good, because it is, but a bit too late. Maybe we could have identified that Blaire White was right about a few things and not called her a Nazi before the disabled child got the double mastectomy. Like, maybe that could have...
Nope, we're all cool with that, apparently. So, I guess you're still evil. I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Happened before that. And it's not about me, right?
Listen, this video on its own will inspire countless fucking hate videos about Blaire White. Let's be real. She's been the punching bag for the trans cult for fucking ever. And to be fair, I say that as if she's some kind of victim. This is a second channel, and we got this many subscribers. She's clearly done very well. You know what I mean?
Right. It has not been productive to all of a sudden want to do a U-turn right before and not right after it's all gone to I'm just tired more than anything. I have to be so real. I feel like, and I've said this before, and like it's a little bit deep, it's a little bit whatever, but it is what it is. Sometimes I just don't feel like I'm trans. And no, I'm not saying that means I need to detransition. I think that what...
Oh my God, how many... I swear to fucking God. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is freaking me out. This is actually freaking me out. I literally have thought this so many fucking times. Almost word for word. It's scary. I got put on the same transphobes Twitter list as Blaire White. It's personal point of pride. Yeah, that sounds good. I know I'm a red name. To be fair, I don't know. I don't know how many of those types even go on fucking Twitter anymore.
And like it's a little bit deep, it's a little bit whatever, but it is what it is. Sometimes I just don't feel like I'm trans. And no, I'm not.
This is a huge problem with the fucking culture shit, by the way. The fact that when you're trans, there's this kind of expectation that you're all these other things that have got nothing to do with being trans, including all the weird fashion shit, including the bizarro freak leftism, including things like polyamory and like often having very strange views about sex and things like that. It makes some trans people feel incredibly alienated from their own people. And it's, you know, the problem is the shit became echo chambers. The problem is we decided that we needed like ultimate, what's the word? Inclusivity. And then it became even more exclusive than what people said about like people who want to gatekeep trans, you know, like trans meds and shit. It's become even worse. And like, I feel completely what she's saying because I felt this exact same way. Like, I move here, I try and meet like trans people. I get on okay at first, but I start realizing how fucking weird everyone is. And how these people are nothing like any other people that I ever fucking meet for some reason. And the shit they believe. I feel like maybe it makes sense in a sort of way. But I also know if I was to like present one of these arguments to like my parents or something, for example, they'd laugh me out the fucking room because half of this shit is utterly preposterous. It sucks, man. It sucks for the people that are trans for their own reasons and are not trying to be part of a weird community and are not selling themselves out to fit in with other trans people. Fucking hell, I don't know.
Not saying that means I need to detransition. I think that whatever I am / have, it does involve this whole like...
I guess what is it? We can call it being trans without being queer at the same time. Maybe we can call it that. You're trans and you're not queer. You
know, gender variation in neurologically or what the ever. Something in the womb, the fluoride, whatever you want to call it. Pick a culprit. So I'm not saying that's not there. But if this is what trans is, right? I don't know. I ain't got shit.
Literally, I felt this way for so fucking long. And you try and talk to people, you try and express your opinions, and you just get fucking hated on for it. And you bring it to the fucking internet, because no one will listen to you. And like, I don't know, man. It's fucking, it shouldn't be like this. People shouldn't feel the need to like vent their fucking spleen on the fucking internet because no one will listen to them. I just wanted to make fucking music. I wouldn't mind if just continued having normal jobs. Although that's a whole other story. I like continue making music and just getting on with my life as a normal person as much as I can manage being a normal person because I'm just not a normal person in many ways. But like, fuck me. I don't know. I don't know how to put words on how I'm feeling, but I think she's doing a decent job doing it for me. So.
In common with that, thank God. This is on the hands of everybody who sat year after year after year when case after case after case of medical abuse in the trans medical industry occurred, when common sense continued to be eroded for how we treat trans issues. And everyone...
What do I think of transsexual? It's not a very good term in the sense that you can't actually change your sex, and like transgender is actually a bit more accurate. But I do use transsexual, because it at least kind of separates me from the weird trans cultural shit. So I use it kind of for that reason. I don't know that it's a very good term though. Girls with mobility issues often have their hair kept short for convenience, yet some are then convinced this must mean they're really boys. Hey, potentially, yeah, Jesus, yeah. Probably hard to like get out your face constantly. I'm very able-bodied myself. I can do it. I don't know what the link is, but hey, maybe we'll hear more. Pathetic how Pink News ignore the obvious controversy in this case. Yeah, of course they do. Disgusting. They talk about how there's a joyful video, like flaunting like surgery scars. I can't get down with that shit. I can't get down with the way that so many trans people seem to like glorify surgery. It just feels fucking weird to me. I think stuff like you're doing with trying to talk openly pushes it back. We can turn the ties to open conversations. How do you mean? I don't think I understand.
Was just compliant because A, they were spreading the BS themselves, or B, they didn't want to ruffle feathers or rock the boat with their friends who agreed with this bullshit. For everybody that wanted to sit back, watch it all happen, watch it all unfold and spiral, who just sat back, wanted to keep it cute, collect your likes. See, y'all are so worried about getting likes. How about getting right with God? How about not going to hell? Because this is of the devil.
Listen, I don't know that I'll ever be a Christian, but hey, I do kind of wish that I spoke out more sooner and like saw sense like sooner. I was never like fully in on any of this shit. And I think if you'd shown me this at the age of like 28, for example, versus now, I feel like I still would have understood that there's something really wrong here. But I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult. Soon as got into the room, listen, Christians, blah blah blah. They're gonna say what they feel. They're gonna have their opinions and stuff. I'm not Christian myself. I try and respect religion as best I can. But hey, it's not for me. It's not for me. Maybe, hey, listen, maybe one day I'll become a fucking born again Christian and everyone will remind me of when I said this. I don't know. I don't imagine being important ever, so I don't think I have anything to worry about. But hey.
And again, I wish this person all the best. This has been nothing against this person because obviously, I mean, I'm sure somebody...
Yeah, I mean, I was actually ready to disagree quite a lot on some of this, but beyond like the title being quite inflammatory and maybe suggesting something that isn't quite the case, although at the same time it's a brain problem. Like there's wiggle room there, you know what I mean? Other than that, I kind of agree with a lot of what she's saying. And the worst thing is like the way that these fucking communities are like, you end up gaslighting yourself into being like, well, I agree with Blaire White on something. Does that make me a bad person? I don't know. Kind of scares me a bit. But hey.
Is going to twist it because that's what they do. They always get it twisted. But, you know, all the love and empathy for this person, none for the parent.
Is this person proven to be mentally disabled and unable to make decisions for themselves? No, absolutely not. But part of the problem is they started their transition when they were like 14 or something. So the decisions they've made started a lot sooner than the age they are now, which is 19. So really the bigger problem is the fact that it's another fucking trans kid. And the fact that it's disabled, the fact that they are disabled, is just kind of making it look a lot more shocking. And to someone that doesn't know any better, they'll see that and, you know, it looks like something worse than it is, I guess. And yeah, the correct answer is to get the information and shit like that. But like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, it's something I talk about quite often. How old are these people when they start making these decisions that are then leading to the surgery? You know what I mean? Should they have been given consent for like the surgery at the age of 14? Because potentially that's kind of how it's ended up. It sounds a bit ridiculous. They didn't say, I'm getting surgery and they had to wait 5 years. Obviously it doesn't go down like that. But overwhelmingly, one treatment starts to go into another. So it's like you identify, you socially transition, you'll start puberty blockers, you go on to hormones, you start getting surgeries. You know what I mean? So like, where's the consent coming from? Where did it start from? Because overwhelmingly, you start at the very start. You're going to go on to this whole thing. Yep, a phase, parents being down with specific kind of things, being activist types. There's a lot of possibilities. And truthfully, I don't know this person, so I can't sit here and say what I think it is really, but I don't know. Listen, I wish I could see someone's journey through this kind of shit, because I think that would help a lot. But hey, you know, you can't really trust the shit people say themselves. Like, I don't know, the amount of times in my life that someone said something to me and I'm like, if I sat and watched you, I'd be willing to bet that what you're saying you experience is not at all what you experience. But hey, I don't know. That's me.
And hopefully.
Oh, kitty cat. I read something that suggested about 30 to 50% of people with that condition can have those kind of issues. But that doesn't mean that this person does, to be clear.
Severe punishment soon for the surgeons.
Yeah, there we go. Are you depressed yet? I don't know. It feels kind of early. Sounds like one of those pipelines that BreadTube is warning us about. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Shit.